Hey everyone, how are you doing today? It is August 31st, 2020, and I have a couple articles here that are going to continue to show that what we've been saying since the beginning has been true. I'm going to try to get a decent amount of videos out today and tomorrow. Sorry that I hadn't been able to get more out, but I had literally been working non-stop on the last two that I put out about Hurricane Laura. And if you haven't checked that out, please do. You definitely need to see it, because what they told us that it wasn't. There was horrible tragedy, horrible destruction, but it was not caused by a Category 4 hurricane, as they say. But let's get into this, okay? Look at this. CDC finds only 6% of CV deaths are solely from CV-19. Really? That's what we've been seeing since the beginning, is that they were using all these other deaths for CV-19 deaths. It says, as the CV-19 pandemic continues, the death toll continues to rise, especially in the United States, where more than 180,000 people have died since it began. However, a new figure released by the Center for Disease Control has created a stir, especially after it was retweeted by the president. It says, the CDC updated the provisional counts on death that have occurred from CV-19 on August 26, and in the section on comorbidities, they reveal that only 6% of the deaths were caused just by the virus. That information has been seized on those who believe the total deaths and the severity of the pandemic have been greatly exaggerated as an effort to undermine the president during an election year. Well, some may be saying that. I could care less about the election, care less about the president, about any of that. No, we've been saying that they've been exaggerating the numbers so that they can lock us down, take away our rights, force us to wear masks, force us to take the test, force us to have a vax eventually, force us to be tracked and traced everywhere we go. That's what we've been saying. We don't care about the president. This is so much bigger than just the United States or our president. People need to wake up. This is worldwide. Look at this. This lady says only 6% of the 161,392 deaths recorded actually died solely from CV. That's 9,683 deaths from CV only total. That not unbelievable? Under 10,000 deaths. That's it. In 8 months now. 10,000 people in 8 months. The other 94% had 2 to 3 other serious illnesses contributing to death. Most of those were of advanced age, 74 to 85 plus. This is just crazy, right? I mean, how can they be getting away with this when this is it's there. People just need to look for this information. But this isn't right. It's always been about the election. No, this is propaganda too. That's the thing, is I'll cover this story, but this is in mainstream news. So this is, there's agenda behind this, which is dividing us. That's always what the agenda is: divide and conquer. Order out of chaos. It says, however, others also quickly pointed out that the number was under the comorbidities section, meaning that the 94% of those deaths that were related to CV were in those who also suffered from comorbidities, the same groups that were considered high risk when the pandemic first took hold. Yeah, you think? I mean, this is just ridiculous, right? Now look at this. It says, now here you go. See, this is how they're going back and forth, right? The stupidity is mind-blowing. Trump clones, I guess, whatever, are using this to say only 6,000 to 9,000 people have died from CV-19. Don't ask. What? They don't realize that 6% means they didn't have comorbidities or they weren't listed. The other 94% had comorbidities, like all the high-risk factors CDC lists. It says, among the comorbidities that also contributed to the high death toll were hypertensive disease, diabetes, vascular and unspecific dementia, cardiac arrest, and heart failure. It says, The pandemic and the way it has been handled has become a sticking point in the U.S. as it is politicized ahead of the presidential election. Specifically, many have taken issue with the mask mandates around the country, debating how effective they actually are at curbing the spread. The new criticism on death toll also comes after the CDC changed its guidelines on exactly who needs to quarantine and when, with a 14-day period no longer required for international travelers or from state to state. However, while the guideline has changed, local governments can still impose restrictions. Can people still be really falling for this? I mean, listen to this. They just change anything they want to change. They can just continue to do this. It's just, I do not understand how people keep falling for this. And look at this, how this is why this was put out. This is to get the left versus the right, us versus them, To you, COVID, only 6% people, okay? It's like saying gunshot wounds don't kill people. It's a loss of blood that kills them. So that means guns have never killed anyone before, right? Use your brain, it's common sense. CV is a catalyst for high risk. We've known all along. It's ridiculous. No, that's not what we're saying. We are saying you are taking people that died from, they even came out and said it. You remember, that Illinois comes up on the stage and says, well, even if you were in hospice and had 2 weeks to live, and you ended up dying and you died with CV, we would count that as a CV death. This is what they're going to do. They're just going to try to pin everybody back and forth on this. But there is no doubt that what we said right here, that is the truth right here. CDC finds only 6% of CV deaths are solely from CV-19. Yeah, that's enough. I don't even care. I'm not going to go look into it and do all that like they're trying to say, that they're indirectly caused by CV. No, you don't need to do that because they don't do that with the flu. They don't do that with tuberculosis. They don't do that with pneumonia. So let's stop being ridiculous. People, open your eyes, please. You are systematically being controlled. You're about to be locked down again, and you're about to have more and more things taken away from you, especially now that they're going back to school, okay? The area that I am in, the school my son used to go to, starts up this morning, and it is just becoming crazy up here. Parents don't know what to do. Half don't want to send them. Half are being, have no choice but to send them. It's just a horrible situation, and I just feel that in less than a month, as soon as these flus really start picking up, people start having coughs and colds and, start actually getting sick from the flu and other things, that happens coming in this fall, they're just going to they're going to be able to blow everything up. They're going to say, look at, they can say anybody that's got the sniffles or, from a normal cold or from the normal flu, they're going to use those, say that that's a CV outbreak, and then God knows what they're going to do. Take our kids, lock them down, take us, this is all leading up to, obviously, mandatory vax, which I'm doing a video on, which will be out later today. But we're going to leave this one here. I hope you all had a great day. I hope you all just continue to pray against this because I'll tell you what, I believe we're making a massive difference just from what I hear talking to people around here. So, and everybody that I talk to on YouTube. So just keep praying against it. Let's keep, not allowing this evil to take control. I love you all. We'll talk to you soon. God bless.